Hold on tight for the next hour. You're entering into a place, a zone called the alternative to the alternative media. It's a place, a special place where even truth seekers fear to tread.
All right, people, let's move like we've got a purpose.
Affirmative.
Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people of all races, colors, and creeds, welcome back to the greatest show on earth. Yes, Greg Anthony here on the Investigative Journal, the greatest show on earth. You know why? Because it's better than watching The Simpsons, predict everything in the future, predicting Donald Trump was president, predicting 9/11, you name it. This occult show has done it, but this is better because we tell you why. You know, this show's better than listening to the Pope do an exorcism in Vatican Square and then the devil saying, "Ain't that the pot calling the kettle black?" Oh yeah, this show is better than, you know what? It's better than a person coming up to you now in the world and going, "Get home, you just sneezed." Well, we tell you why. And folks, I better quiet down. Somebody's rattling at the barn door. Okay, I've got to say this quietly. The world, folks, is upside down. It's being taken over by the elites, by the Vatican Jesuit-led world order, and I'm right in the middle of it. Last night I escaped the hotel room that I was in. I escaped from my life. I knew that if I left that hotel room and went to the replica Colosseum that Slats Grobnik, General Slats Grobnik built, it would be blown up and I would be killed. Oh yes. Have you been following what I've been doing? Well, let me tell you what happened. Last night, I knew I had to get out of there. I had met with the COVID virus boss, the top guy. Look, I'm sitting in a barn right now. I escaped in the middle of the night through an open window. I got my bodyguards, the cartel bodyguards, drunk on tequila. And I knew I had to get out of there. And I left that little box that they gave me to give to Slats Grobnik. If you don't know who he is, he's one of the last freedom fighters. Shh, shh, shh. Okay, it's okay. Okay, there's people all around here. I met a friendly farmer. I told him the story. He said, "I know all about Slats Grobnik and that replica Colosseum. In fact, I helped him build parts of it." I said, "Which part?" He said, "I help him build the bathrooms. I'm a plumber." I said, "Okay." So he put me in the barn with all his horses and cows, and I got 3 or 4 dogs here with me, but I'm safe. And boy, was that a close call. I met with the boss yesterday. Yes, I met with the boss yesterday. They're gone. I can talk a little louder. And this farmer gave me the computer. I said, "I have to do this show. I have to get this message out to the world because we are being taken over and there's no hope anymore. The whole world has been taken over now, and this COVID-19 virus is just the precursor of what's to come. It's to isolate everybody. It's to put and they did it all around the world." So anyway, I escaped from the hotel, knowing they would blow it up. Their goal was to blow up Slats Grobnik's replica Colosseum. It's the base for his second American Revolution. I've not been able to get a hold of him, but last I heard, he'd sent out 160 million emails to create an army, to fight, just as if we were fighting in a war like in old England against the elites. That's what's going on. In fact, I've got some interesting information about the power elite, the elite bloodlines in America. Don't be fooled by Obama, Clinton, Trump. They're all on the same team. Trump is a royal. Yes, he's from royal blood. Do you think you're going to buy this? He's helping the peasants? No. He's leading you on a string to death. And listen, I'm right in the middle of it. I know they're out looking for me now. I saw 3 or 4 of those black limousines flying all over the place. There's a helicopter. There's everything. But I'll get out of here. I'm not sure if I should go to that Coliseum right now. But I got to tell the world before it's too late. Because, you know, folks, Everyone knows deep in their bones that there's something very wrong, very sinister with COVID-19. And there's something big going on behind the scenes in the background of this pre-planned pandemic and transparently staged panic. Yes, I have nobody. Yesterday on the streets of Wichita, where I escaped, there was nobody out. Just field marshals for the basic New World Order roaming the streets, looking for anybody. They say there's no curfew. But I saw 3 people stopped and told to go home, and one that did not obey was beaten and put into a police car. That's what's happening, America. And people everywhere know that every major false flag now, in the past that we've talked about, this mass casualty event, like Operation COVID-19, is always carried out for multiple reasons and distractions. So let me explain it to you. The current race of humanity has never experienced in the world ever a worldwide terrorist operation and global psyops as thoroughly distracting and mesmerizing and frightening as this one. And let me say this, I'm right in the middle of it, folks. I was in Rome, Italy. I'm going to tell you a story. In 1982, working as a journalist, thinking basically, I've got to figure out what's going on. And guess what happened? I almost was killed in a terrorist bombing. Ronald Reagan was about to come. It was 10 days before Reagan's visit to Italy. I walked into the newspaper office. There's a long hallway. I went to the left turn, went down the stairs, and no matter 5 seconds later, all hell broke loose. A bomb went off my ears. I couldn't hear. Stones, rocks, everything came down on my head. Everything. The only thing that saved me and why I'm here now is because that was an old Roman building with huge cinder blocks. But anyway, the bomb was accredited to some terrorist organization. But I knew it was just a message. They knew when they placed it only 2 people would be in the office. What's 1 or 2 casualties? They could have killed many if they wanted to, if the office was full at 10 o'clock, but they chose 7. I knew it was an inside job. I said, how'd they get in the publisher's office? How'd they get in here? Me and Eduardo were the only people that had the keys. And so anyway, from that time, my quest went on. I wanted to know who these people were. I wanted to know from the very bones of my heart, they tried to kill me for what? I hated Reagan at the time. I was a liberal. Now, I'm nothing. I went through the whole cycle of liberal, conservative, and realized that they're both playing a game with us. And this one, when they shut down baseball, that was the end. You may think that to be trivial, but it's important. It's very important, and was very important, especially to people from Chicago like myself. Avid Cub fans, loving America, wanting to go to Wrigleyville, wanting to have a good time. Now it's all shut down. They can't do that. That's just a sign of what's to come. And are you just going to lay down? My voice is almost gone. I've been out all night. The rain, the wind, the people. It was terrible. And now, in this barn, I knew my plan, their plan, when they abducted me 6 days ago, was to take me, get my confidence, build me up, tell me everything was going to be all right, then let me go to the Roman Colosseum that Slats built. Yes, he spent 20 years of his life, folks, dedicated to saving this country. And look where it's got us. We listen to the wrong people. We don't know what they're planning now, but I know one thing for sure. The world will never be the same after this COVID-19. You know they've told us that. What do you think? When the emperor tells you to go back to work, it's going to be just like it was? Never. You're lucky to get enough food to eat in the future. The poor will go poor. Many will die. The middle class will be ripped apart. The elite will now rule as if they were in a castle in England, looking at their peasants. Because you know what? Most of these presidents are just that, coming from the elite bloodlines. And let me tell you this. I'll get to the real nuts and bolts of what happened to me in the second half hour. And I'm going to tell you, like I said yesterday, it's no longer important to know the who, what, when, where, and why they did this. There's so much garbage on the internet and on TV, you don't know what to believe. And that's what they've made. They did this. It's a masterful plan. A plan that they created on television. It's a worldwide reality show. You know it deep in your heart. This is not good. And if we don't act now, if we don't grab every piece of our inner soul and being and body and come to the rescue of our fellow man, we are doomed. We will go back to the way it was in the 14th century with King Edward, King Henry, King whatever, because now we have King Trump. And we've had kings all the way along the line. But isn't it magnificent how they picked this man? How they picked him to build up the hopes of America first. But then I started to say, why would they pick a man with royal blood, related to several kings? No, it can't be so. This man, from the time he was 6 years old, was infatuated with the royal family. He sat at the coronations when he was 6. And do you think anything has changed? Oh yes, he cares about you. They double talk. Just as the Pope says he believes in Christ, he's a Luciferian. And just as these people say they care for you, they want you dead or under their thumb. America, you've had it good for a while. But you've seen it decline, and now this. What a masterful plan. You can't blame anybody, right? It's an invisible virus enemy. But anyway, let me get to the point. You being led down the string, and I just wanted to do something here. I've got my little computer that the farmer gave me. I have to do this show. They're looking for me now. They're going to check the internet. They're going to be shutting it down. Every one of us is going to be muzzled. They don't want anything against their government story. You think it was bad in 9/11 after everyone realized this isn't right. But you still believed that they could take down the Twin Towers with, 3 terrorists with box cutters could thwart the great American military, who's had a lot of practice. They've been at war for like 20 years. You know, if you've listened to my show, I told you what's important to them, to keep us pacified. Now, as I sat in that hotel room, you listened to my shows over the past 2 months. I've tried to bring things to light. I've tried to make it happy for everyone. I've said, listen, the only way to get through this is to laugh. It's the best medicine. Look at what they're doing, how crazy this is. And I did that for many, many days. But this is one day the show changes. This is one day where I'm sitting in this barn. Oh, by the way, next to a very nice horse. How you doing, buddy? Boy, beautiful, beautiful stallion. And there's a couple pigs. I wonder if it was that 300-pound pig that fell on the man. Remember walking down the street? And then they said he died of the coronavirus. Oh, I think of a lot of things in here. You know, I think of the time that someone read me the Riot Act. And I'm trying to figure out, what the heck is the Riot Act? And then they say, if you don't know what that is, you ever hear the expression, hey, he's going down the tubes. What tubes? I never see any tubes anywhere. Oh, it's crazy. And my goodness, listen to the TV. I bet you right now, There's millions, 45 million, 100,000 people listening to CNN and Fox. And guess what? On this little broadcast, you get 100 people. But that grows. It can grow from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 as Slats Grobnik now sits there trying to get 160 million people to respond to this call to arms. Give me baseball or give me death. Yes, we're a population obsessed now with neurotic things like germs. No one's going out. I'm sitting here next to a pile of horse manure. Do you think I'm sick? I've been in the rain all night, scurrying in and out of alleyways, jumping over homeless people. Yeah. You know how many homeless people there are in Wichita? Just go out at 3 in the morning. Right now, that's all you see. And how come they leave them out? They don't do anything. Yeah. And they're fine. In fact, I had to sleep next to a garbage can with 2 homeless people last night for a while till I could get this morning to this farm outside of Wichita. And these guys, they haven't washed their hands in 2 weeks. And they're fine. I said, do you have a cough? They said, no, we're good. And I said, did you hear about that COVID-19? They go, what? Oh, that band that played last night? See what I mean? They don't even know. They're happy. But they don't care if they're out in the street. That's the crazy thing about this. I talked to a guy in prison the other day. It's true. He's in prison, some prison in California. And I said, how's it in there? He said, they haven't said anything to us. Nothing. There's nothing going on there. They haven't even told him what was going on. There's no washing hands every 5 minutes there. Nothing's changed, he said. It's like, what it's always like in here. Fights, the gangs getting together. They're not sick. I said, is anybody sick? He goes, no. So what's going on? What's going on? But there's so much going on. And here I am. I got to keep. Somebody's at the door. Wait. I can hear some footsteps. Okay. It's the farmer. Yeah, I'm okay. 2 eggs. Over easy. He's getting me breakfast. Coffee. I need coffee. And he threw a blanket in here last night. Man, there's some great people in the world. I know that if we get everybody together like Slats wanted, we can save the world. Don't worry, we can. This is not over. I was talking to somebody the other day, and she told me, we're going to win. This is what we need. Millions of people understanding now. And maybe the elite, maybe the power elite, didn't really think we'd get an army together, a battle army, an army that can fight, an army that can win, an army that can win. Donald, we're going to take a page out of your book. We're going to win so much that people are going to come to Slats Grobnik at the Roman Colosseum as all you guys are locked up as gladiators. And they're going to say, Slats, don't win anymore. We're tired of you're winning too much. Sound familiar? The king, the lord of the manor. They're all like that. And so I want to tell you, I've got 5 minutes here. I'm going to have my breakfast. And then I want to tell you, I looked up something because I started thinking, well, Trumpy here is a royal. How many other presidents were royals? What is this lie they told me when I was a kid? I come from a modest Polish background. I'm one of their useless eaters. But you know what? They told me, Greg, anybody can become president in America. They didn't say the following sentence. That's if you come from royal bloodlines. Oh, don't cough. Please don't cough. I know there's people out there believe this is true. They'll turn it off. They'll turn the show off and go, it can come through the radio waves. Yeah, that's what they're thinking. There's people that think this came from Corona beer. And, I'll tell you something. Nobody thinks that anymore. And, millions of people are starting to figure out there's something wrong here. Really? Even conservative people who think I should be in jail for saying the Vatican is behind the New World Order and that the Pope is Luciferian, and so all of these pedophiles, where do they come from? What do you think? It's just a bad apple in the bunch? No. These people, and you live next to them in Rome, you'll see. People in Rome know. What do you think they did this to the people in Italy? They know that more people there know the truth about them. They got to get rid of them. Lock the country down. That's a smart move. You got people starving all over the place. They're telling farmers. I asked the farmer I'm in his barn right now. I said, "What do you do normally?" He says, "Well, I had a dairy farm. I've got soybeans. I got corn." And they came by and told me, "Throw my milk out. We don't need it. There's no supply lines." Why? He said, "Why? Because of a cough?" He's mad. And I said to him, we had a chat while he took me in last night, early in the morning. I said, he's up early, 3:30, milking the cows. Thank God he was. And I said to him, I told him the whole story about me being captured, taken by the COVID virus police, talked to the big boss, going to help Slats Grobnik. He knows about him. He's not far away in that replica Colosseum. Some people think it's a soccer stadium. That's how he got away with it. That's what the farmer said. But anyway, I said, would you fight with us? Would you come to the rescue of America? He said, you better believe I will. I've had it with these people. I've had it a long time ago. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. You know something? That's a good one. I'm thinking about what he said. I love words. I'm thinking, the pot calling the kettle black. I never saw one pot call the kettle black. And I never saw, ever in my life. Now, take it, on this side of the world, you don't see many camels. But I never did see a straw that broke any of their backs. And I saw a lot of these Arabs just get up on these camels and go through the desert for days. They're resilient animals. Where did this straw that breaks the camel's back? Why isn't it the straw that broke the elephant's back? Well, he's too big. And what about this thing? I wish I was a fly on the wall. Oh, that's a good one. You really want to be a fly on the wall? You know what it's like to be a fly? Especially around people who don't like them? Yeah, it's not very much fun. You're being chased around with one of those fly swatters. Then you got to get you got to go somewhere because another guy's trying to kill you with spraying stuff all over the place. It's no fun to be a fly on the wall. I don't want to be a fly on the wall. Even in Georgetown University, that tunnel where they're, scripting this reality show where I've got a bug in there anyway, and it ain't a fly, to know exactly what they're doing. And listen, I've got some things to report. Yesterday's session in there, boy, did they read the riot act to some of their crisis actors who are really looking stupid. That's it. They're looking for more. The guys that are more believable. You can't believe these people. They get on the air, And by the way, somebody sent me an email. I did salvage. I went and got, I stole. Okay. I better go to a confessional and tell the Jesuit priest that I stole something. It was a cell phone from one of the cartel guys. What are you going to do? I can only use it once and throw it away. But anyway, if I go in there, why does anybody go to a confessional? Can you believe this? You got people in there, these priests who've molested 35,000 children, and they're trying to forgive your sins? I wouldn't forgive that guy. I mean, anybody who walks in the confessional has got to be out of their ever-loving head. Unless you're a mafia murderer. They love going there because, they can kill anybody. Then the priest says, hey, that's fine. We've killed hundreds of millions of people. Don't worry about it. I better go. I got that. Okay, I'm coming. I got the eggs. Egg over easy. Cup of coffee. Back in 3 minutes on the Investigative Journal.
The book of Revelation says, the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ. This is at the very heart of FirstAmendmentRadio.com. In that spirit, we have created the Prophecy Reality News app for all of your mobile devices, streaming First Amendment radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available for your Apple, Android device, and smartphone, absolutely free. Get the Prophecy Reality News app installed today so you can listen to First Amendment radio wherever you are. The Prophecy Reality News app. Get it now.
Visit crosstheborder.org, CROSS, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org. When it comes to prophecy today, much of the evangelical Christian world has their eyes on Israel, waiting and watching to see when the third temple will begin to be built. The plans are drawn, the Jewish people are eager. Most evangelical Christians today believe that the rapture will happen before the third temple is built. Hi, I'm Michael Eugene. I was taught that Daniel's 70th week was in the future. Is that really what the Bible teaches? Have we searched the scriptures and found this to be true? Why is it so important for a re-established Israel to build a third temple in Jerusalem? Is it necessary to build a temple on the same location already occupied by the Dome of the Rock? Is it necessary for sacrifices to take place in the temple on Temple Mount? Is there really a rapture followed by 7 years of tribulation? What is the New Testament temple? Can we identify history and prophecy? Who is the first beast in Revelation chapter 13? Who are the 7 kings in Revelation 17? I have asked all these questions, and I have found Nicholas Arthur's new book, When the Third Temple is Built, answers all these questions and more using Scripture to interpret Scripture. The Bible says that no prophecy of Scripture is of any private interpretation. Nicholas shows us in his new book, When the Third Temple is Built, how the Bible interprets prophecy and not man's private interpretation. Visit crosstheborder.org, CROSS, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org.
The following program is labeled dangerous and off limits by the supreme Jesuit command. But stand tall, people. Listen up, and you may just learn something.
Oh, dear Lord Jesus, this ain't happening, man. This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
Okay, folks, we're back for the second half hour of the greatest show on earth. Greg Anthony here. Yes, we're the greatest show on earth because we can do it from a barn with horses in the middle of nowhere in Wichita, knowing that the New World Order has taken the world over. They've done it with an invisible enemy. You know it. You can feel it in your bones. It ain't something that's serious. If you can't go out and cough and feel safe. And then you got fellow Americans who are snitching on others. Do you know there's places in America you can't play golf anymore? Come on, you golfers. Come to the rescue. Give me golf or give me death. You know, that could be another one. Let me tell you this. I was a journalist. I almost got killed from these people years ago. They've been after me for a long time because I've been blowing the whistle on the real culprits behind the scenes, checking out everybody I could over the years to get the truth out. But, you know, they've distorted the truth so much because theirs doesn't even seem possible, and people believe it. And then they've infiltrated internets, churches, everything with so much garbage. That's why nobody knows what's going on now, so don't ever think you can figure out who, what, when, where, and why. Just know the ramifications of this. And so, you know, I got to tell you really quickly, I was a journalist, and in journalism, maybe we could learn something here. When you write a story, by the way, go to my website, help me, greganthonysjournal.wordpress.com. You can get the 4 stories I've written. It's a 4-part series, going to be 400-part series about Slats Grobnik and the Second American Revolution, General Slats Grobnik, who I've known for years. And they say, if you want to get people to listen, to read, you got to do it in the opening paragraph. 30 words, never more than 30 words if you write for a newspaper, 30 words. And they tell you, make it like an inverted pyramid. You know, real important stuff at top, because by 3 paragraphs, people are gone. People don't read anymore. People don't even read 10 words anymore. I don't even know why I write stories. Maybe I'll just do this part 5 as an audio clip. People listen to audios, How about these companies? One company we have to get rid of, audio books. You know something? Why don't people just write books when they talk? Forget about using a pen or a computer. Hell, pretty soon, nobody's going to read anyway. It's going to be super intelligence, robot intelligence. That's what this whole thing's about. They don't want people thinking people. Are you kidding me? Then, how many people like me are? There's a lot of people like me. They can't catch everybody, but they're going to destroy everybody now, and I'm a perfect example. Here I am, a fine human being, sitting in a barn, running around, being chased by the COVID virus police because of some invisible enemy. Because all I want to do is tell you, look, get the hell out of here. This is crazy. And what have they done to me? First of all, I write a couple good stories about Slats Grobnik wanting to start a revolution. Everybody should now. And then they abduct me from Mexico. I was out of the country. I'm not even a part of America. Leave me alone. I'm just having fun with you, Don't get me angry. That's all I ask you. I'm trying to be, if you listen to my shows, I've made this pretty much of a happy comedy hour about COVID virus. I mean, what else could you do? And I know they appreciate it because they told me that one of the reasons I'm alive is because I make the Black Pope laugh. Now, for those of you who don't know who the Black Pope is and how he wields power, shame on you. I go to a comedy club and I say the Black Pope, and they think the Pope. Then one guy says, yeah, it's about time an African American became the Pope. And I go, yeah, it's about time. So anyway, I said he's been president. And then I said, did you know that Michelle Obama was a transgender? Oh, my God. All of these people. In a comedy club, you can get away with it, Everybody's sitting there drunk anyway. And I've been to a lot of them. In fact, a dying man's last wish, right? If you're going to kill me, right? I kill a lot of people in the comedy clubs, You know what you say. Hey, boy, I killed him tonight. They were laughing their heads off. I killed them. And then the other night you say, oh, my God, that was like a morgue out there. They're all dead. So I'm killing everybody every day when I go to a comedy club. But, if I'm going to die, there's where I want to go. I figure, what the heck anymore? Why are we afraid of these people? Why are we afraid to go outside? Fear of germs? I'm sitting here next to horse poop. I walked over 10 homeless people last night, slept in a garbage can with them. I'm not bad. My boys are all working. My immune buddies in there fighting off these germs are working. They're taking a rest now. I'm in this nice little barn. I got a nice, it's kind of nice. Brings me back. Did I ever tell you the days I had some race horses? Used to ride horses. Yeah. Boy, those were the days, huh? When I could actually go out and do something. Boy, I'll tell you something. I should have been a jockey, but I was too big. I wish I was like Anthony Fauci, that doctor. He should have been a jockey, too. But I was an exercise boy. Got down to 140 pounds to do that, to make sure I wasn't going to be the straw that broke the horse's back. But anyway, back to the important things here. You can get carried away. By the way, thanks, Ralph. He said, don't say his name. Okay, I promise anonymity. Good eggs. All right, so here I'm in a barn. They captured me, put me in this hotel, gave me a box to give to Slats Grobnik. What do they think, I'm stupid? Oh, it's not a bomb. But they wouldn't made me take it. So I knew once I got in there, they had a detonation thing, probably a timer. As soon as I went in there, boom, there goes the Colosseum. I said, no way. I had to get out. So I sneaked out last night, got the bodyguards, the cartel bodyguards, who I really like, got them drunk on tequila. They fell asleep. I went out the bathroom window, just like that Beatles song. And guess what? Here I am after a harrowing night in Wichita, Kansas. Homeless people all over the streets. They're all well. I don't know what the story is. There's no respirators out there either. And here I am in this barn, holed up now. They're looking for me. I know they'll kill me now. This is the end. I got to keep running. I'm on the run. Got to get back to Mexico. Got to get across the border. Got to call my cartel friends. Maybe they'll let me use that tunnel. They brought me over on an airplane. Maybe they'll let me use that tunnel to get from Tijuana back to Mexico. I'll try, but I'm a ways away from that. How am I going to get back? I got to do my show every day. Well, can they tell where I'm at? That's interesting. I got to keep my eyes open. Let me look outside the window here. No, it looks clear. Boy, I'll tell you, these fields, beautiful corn, rotting. They're not allowing. I asked them. I said, aren't you going to pick your corns? No, they're telling us not to. Let it rot. I said, but people need to eat. They said, not in this world anymore. We don't need to feed robots. Okay. So anyway, America, here's my big challenge. What's happening here is we got a lot of people believing that America's great again. Well, I thought it was always great. It's a great place. I've always enjoyed it. It's the people that run it that are really crazy. So the idea is we got to find people to run it that really believe in what the Constitution says. These people lie to you. Now, Trump is the biggest one. And the problem here is that he's got a big following now. That was the goal here, to get all these people to really believe in America. And they brought it up, and now it's down. But people think it's going to be the greatest country after this. Trump is a royal. So you never believe them. Go back and listen to some of the stories between the Vatican and the royals in Europe when America was first founded. Their goal was to get in with freedom and then take over. Get in with freedom of religion and take over. They even planned this whole thing. They planned the revolution. They planned how they were going to start from one small Jesuit college to taking over America. And boy, have they. They all worked together. And we've documented it in that Georgetown tunnel between Georgetown and the White House. And if you don't know about it, please listen to my show. We don't have much time. I mean, what do you get to lose now? What are they going to do? Well, they're going to do what they did. They used to. You know, there was so much intrigue in those royal families. That's all they do. That's what you're seeing here. This battle going on. It's a Hegelian dialectic battle. You're always seeing it, the left against the right, but they work together at the top. Then you're seeing it even with this COVID virus. The doctors are fighting Trump. Trump is fighting the Democrats. It's all a game. I know it. I listened last night. When I got here, I turned on my little, well, I can't tell you the secret of how we do this, but I was listening to what they were talking about yesterday in that tunnel when they're getting ready. It's like a show. Every day they have to come. The director comes with the scripts, gives them out to everybody and says, okay, this is what we're doing today. More fear, more fear, more fear. Keep it going. We got to keep these people home for at least another couple months. Then we'll really destroy them. But anyway, they don't realize, well, they have their men out. They knew. They're stopping these little... See, what's happening is they're isolating us. Slats Grobnik's trying to unite us, bring us to the Colosseum, bring all the armies of America together to fight these people. We got them all over the place, especially Idaho and all those people. We're going to bring those people. We're going to have trouble with California and also New York, but heck, if we can take over the inside of the country, we can just push them out into the ocean. But anyway, don't believe Trump. So that's the big problem, because people are going to be complacent. They're going to put their trust in the wrong guy. Because did you know that all 43 U.S. presidents have carried European royal bloodlines into office? And 34 have been genetic descendants from just one person, Charlemagne, the brutal 8th century king of the Franks. 19 of them were directly descended from the King Edward III of England. I know all about this stuff. Just watch Stars. Yeah. I was watching The White Princess before they abducted me, and I was watching The White, The White Queen. I know all about the royals now, you know. Heck, you don't have to read it in books. They don't want you to. So I'm complying. See, I'm complying. Let me live one more day. But the presidential candidate with the most royal genes has just won about every American election. Oh, but anybody can be president. And I'm not going to tell you where this came. It's all documented in Burke's Peerage, which is the Bible of aristocratic genealogy based in London. Every president election in America since and including Washington to Clinton and onward has been won by the candidate. I don't know about Obama. Was he? I don't know. African guy, African king. I don't know. Where does he come from? Who knows? But he was there just to destroy, just to build up whatever they did, China, the rest of the place, the Middle East. Most British and French royal genes. Of the 42 presidents, let's just stop at Clinton. I don't even talk about Trump. I got a little on him. I've got a lot of time here. Why not tell you? I'm trying to get you not to listen to these guys, Trump or Obama. Don't think that, don't wait and sit there. I know there's a lot of Americans going, don't worry, honey. It's going to be okay. Just another 30 days, then we'll go out and everything will be back to normal. Donald will do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of the 42 presidents to Clinton, 33 have been related to two people, Alfred the Great, King of England, and Charlemagne, the most famous monarch of France. So it goes on. 19 of them are related to Edward III, who has 2,000 blood connections to Prince Charles. The same goes with the banking families in America. Bush, Barbara Bush are from the same bloodline, the Pierce bloodline, which changed its name from Percy when it crossed the Atlantic. Percy is one of the aristocratic families of Britain to this day. They were involved in the gunpowder plot to blow up Parliament. Oh, my goodness. We are in trouble. And now we got Donald, Sir Donald. What do we know about Sir Donald? Well, let's look here. And what people are looking for in Mr. Donald Trump. You'll find it quite interesting. And why I'm doing this? Because I'm trying to get all of those MAGA Trump people to go to Slats Grobnik. Yeah, to fight these people. But if they believe a false leader, like they believed Hitler, and I'm not calling Trump Hitler, I'm calling him what he is, a descendant of Hakon V, King of Norway. Okay? That's one. He's got a little bit of everything in his bloodline, royal bloodlines. What do you think he's here for? He's related to Icelanders and Danish and Norwegian royalty. So who found that? According to Icelandic genealogist Odur F. Helgason. And these people in Iceland are important. Maybe that's why he said, I want to buy it. Remember you wanted to buy Iceland? Or Greenland, was it? I don't know. Iceland, see, this is the thing I hate about the world. Everything's backwards. Iceland is green, and Greenland has ice. Why don't they just name Greenland, Iceland, and Iceland, Greenland? Make it easy on people. Hell, people don't know where things are. They have no idea. The other day I was saying, one guy, I was mentioning something in Austria, and he thought it was Australia. I mean, Austria is not Australia, okay? It's not a short word for Australia, but they make it complicated. It's not our fault. So Donald Trump, he's really, that's what Mr. Trump is also related to Queen Margaret II of Denmark, Icelandic President Guðni, I can't pronounce it, Johannesson of Iceland, and in fact almost all Icelanders. He's going to take over that country. Helgason became interested in this lineage after speculation about Trump's potential kinship to Icelanders. In exploration of Trump's kinship to Icelanders, Helgason also traced him to the current president of Iceland. Naturally, as he is the Icelandic head of state, this was on Facebook, all over the place. Now, he's got the two presidents are in fact related back through 25 generations and share a common ancestry to King Hakon V of Norway, a Viking age king who reigned from 1299 to 1319. Hey, I checked out. I'm related to a Polish king. Right. Through so many, I should be president. Well, I'm going to make myself a royal. Okay? Now, we're going to start. Maybe we should make the Colosseum a country like the Vatican where Slats is at, that farm field. And I'm going to be the Duke of the Colosseum, new country. Okay, I'm royal. Related to a royal Polish family. But I'm half Jewish. Oh, should have been killed. So they'll kill half of me. I'm still the other half. You can't do it. But anyway, Trump is descendant of Hakon. Okay. Now, this is amazing because if you look at this guy, Mr. Trump is a descendant to King Christian of Denmark, Norway, Sweden. Listen to this. Trump can also trace his ancestry to Scottish royalty. This guy's got it all. No wonder his rallies are so filled up with people. It's the peasants worshiping the king. Christian of he's related to Queen Margaret of Scotland, the spouse of King James IV of Scotland. Their son, King James IV of Scotland, is also Mr. Trump's forefather. Trump's royal British ancestors have been reported on earlier times about this, what people forget. Trump and his Democratic opponent, remember, I'm reading it when they were opponents. Now they're proponents. Hillary Clinton are related through a common ancestry of John of Gaunt, son of King Edward III. So how can a royal, and look at, he's got towers, he's got his castles in Las Vegas and New York. I mean, people, what are you doing? Believing that, don't you believe people lie? Well, anyway, don't follow, I mean, this is why all of you people who think that everything's going to be better after they tell us we can go out and play. You know, they're trying to pacify everybody here. That's the whole game. Keep you thinking of something else, of this invisible enemy, while they do things, because this whole operation, there's an extremely significant reason why the New World Order globalist cabal saved the biggest and baddest series of bioterrorist black ops. They've been doing this a while. For 2020. I think it's because it's easy to remember in history. 2020, you know. Hey, remember 2020? The guy's talking in the year 3500, you know, when there was really people. Yeah, they had people there, actually, that were alive. You see, all these people now are half robot, half people, whatever they did to this technology world they're creating with 5G and much more. But there's reasons for why they picked this date. I think it's simply because they can remember it, but that's me. Truly, there's something much more. Say many people, though. Bigger going on under the radar, which deserves everyone's attention. So don't worry about who, what, when, where, why they did this, because they got so many disinformation people out there, and there's so much good information that you get confused. At least me, I don't know. All I know is we shouldn't be locked in for a common cold. That's about... You know, let's make it simple, huh? Now that something is known as technology singularity. I'm looking at a little timeline here. It says human intellect, and then it crosses over with machine intelligence, and then it creates transhumans, which is half machine, half person. There's probably a few of those out there now. The most urgent understanding is technology singularity is that once that decisive point of no return is reached, it's game over for this entire world. That's what we're trying to do. Get you to go to the Colosseum. Get you to fight in the Second American Revolution. We can use our brain power. We can use everything here to stop this. Because there is no choice. Look at me. I'm an example of what they're going to do to everybody. No talking bad. No explaining what the Vatican is. No explaining anything. Can you remember the last time you really sat down and woke up without this on your mind? They got you. Let's get rid of it. I'm happy here in this barn, really, when you come to think of it. It's a little, you know, I got used to the smell when I was a kid, and I fell in that manure spreader, which I credit to being. That's why I'm not afraid of these germs. I mean, my guys inside of me, my boys fighting these criminals that try to get into me with all these bioterrorist things, they fought the big battle when I was a young kid, about 7 years old, and I fell into that manure spreader. So, you know something? Don't think that when I jump in the Hudson River, I'm going to die. I've done it. You know, I'm used to that stuff. You saw Kramer do it when he was on Seinfeld. Yeah. Well, anyway, there's an entire world drama has been painstakingly produced and directed, this whole thing that's going on in that Georgetown tunnel, as a huge distraction. I heard him say it the other day. The director, Luigi Franconi, a Jesuit priest of this COVID-19 reality show, said, keep them distracted. While the powers that be put out the finishing touches of this tyrannical technocracy. How do you say that? Technocracy. Run by artificial intelligence and overseen by autonomous superintelligence. There's a monumental problem with the extraordinary determination to perfect this. And they've got to work it out. And, it gets into this point of when they do something like this, they get as many people to believe it and to get confused so that it keeps going and going while they do something else. So here we are looking ourselves into the, square eye of this monster that's going to create a global control matrix. And it's only going to function, this one world government we talk about, when the global matrix has been established and is fully functioning. They've been evolving since the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 how to get the money for this. The global matrix can only operate after 5G is activated. Isn't it interesting that's going on and you don't hear anything about it? The equally necessary Internet of Things will only manifest after this 5G rollout. The power and influence of this, which totally controls the one world government, increases with every upgrade in this autonomous superintelligence. Therefore, autonomous superintelligence is the fulcrum around this tyrannical technocracy, which will evolve as the skeleton of the New World Order as it's gradually fleshed out. How do you think they're going to control everybody? It has to be through this, and they're laying out 5G, which is very hazardous to your health. Then ask yourself, how come all these guys, all these royals in our country, Kissinger lives to be 96? We got, who else? We got Bush. He just died in his 90s. They're all in their 90s. And they're running around still on airplanes and stuff. The other day they caught a senator flying from D.C. to somewhere. And it's essential. It's essential that she works, but how come we can't? Oh, yeah. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I'm overtime. Back tomorrow, if I'm still alive, on the Investigative Journal.
The book of Revelation says, the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ. This is at the very heart of FirstAmendmentRadio.com. In that spirit, we have created the Prophecy Reality News app for all of your mobile devices, streaming First Amendment Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available for your Apple, Android device, and smartphone, absolutely free. Get the Prophecy Reality News app installed today so you can listen to First Amendment Radio wherever you are. The Prophecy.
Since the beginning of time, kings have sought it, nations have fought for it. It has been traded, it has been borrowed, it has been purchased, it has been stolen. There's a reason for it. To secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity. Invest with the security of gold and silver. Call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188 or visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. Listen to Financial Survival with your host Melody Cedarstrom right here on FirstAmendmentRadio.com at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net or call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188. Toll free 1-800-375-4188.